Hi. How are you? You doing good?
Doing good, how are you?
Good, man. You got 5 minutes for a chat?
Sure.
Thank you. Can I live stream and record you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you. Where are you off to?
I'm going to take a quiz for math class.
Oh, okay. Are you majoring in math or?
I'm majoring in biomedical engineering.
That's really cool. Biomedical engineering.
Yes, sir.
Are you one of those science guys?
I'm a very science. Yes.
I actually have an appreciation for science too.
Okay.
I flag down people. My name's Anthony, by the way.
Anthony also.
Your name's Anthony.
Anthony, but without the H. A-N-T-O-N-I.
A-N-T-O-N-I.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Is that a particular nationality? I don't think I've ever seen it spelled that way.
It is Italian.
Okay.
And my name is Antoni. First and last name are Italian.
Don't say your last name.
Okay. And it is an Italian name, but my family is Puerto Rican though.
Interesting.
With Italian names.
Good old America. Yeah, I'm a whole mix of primarily Italian, but German and Polish, Irish, and a little Russian.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
What I do, man, is I have conversations with people. I just randomly ask them to stop for 5 minutes and then ask them if they hold any supernatural beliefs.
Supernatural
beliefs. And yeah, we just spent like 5 minutes talking about the method that a person is so sure that it's true.
Okay.
And this could be like prayer working, magic, miracles, gods, karma, ghosts, whatever.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I think that the talks are more valuable if it's a deeply held belief, like something that it influences you.
Yeah.
So, do you hold anything like that?
I mean, I am a Christian, so I do believe in God, and I do believe in those miracles that happen from time to time. Like even like you'll hear those stories of a person who will be in a car accident and they'll tear the door off and to save somebody. Like there's like that's superhuman strength. Like that can't be done like by yourself. Like even with all the adrenaline in your body, ripping off a car door is something that really can't be done. And people surviving amazing things like that can't be done on your own. Your body's not made to survive those kinds of things.
Is there a corresponding relationship between the miracles that you hear about and the existence of the God?
Yes.
Okay, so if you hear about more miracles, are you more convinced that God exists? And if you were to hear about less miracles, you'd be less convinced? Or is it not working that way?
It doesn't work in the way that with more miracles that God is more real. I feel like God is real regardless of the miracles, but there's just more proof that, like if we were just like we're talking right now, I'd be able to give you more examples of how God is real with all those different kinds of miracles and stories and stuff like that. Okay,
I think I got you. I think what you're saying, and if this is not it, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
The God, in your mind, the God exists, and when you hear about miracles, it only bolsters your confidence that He exists.
Yes, it kind of gives a little more background to it.
It's more evidence, I think you said.
Exactly.
Okay. If you never heard of a miracle from this point on for the rest of your life, would that mean that you had less evidence for the God existing?
No.
No?
No. Because I mean, those things aren't undone. Like, the proof is there, all the facts are there, like my belief and faith and everything are there.
Okay.
Like I don't think really there's anything like if I stop hearing crazy stories, I don't think I'm gonna stop believing that there's a God.
Okay, so this belief that this God exists must be based on something other than miracles.
Yes, definitely.
How sure are you that the God exists on a scale from 0 to 100, where 0% is no confidence and all doubt?
At all.
100% is all confidence, no doubt. I'm certain this God exists.
Okay.
And if you don't like the scale, we don't have to do it, Anthony.
No, I don't mind. I would, to be honest, I'm gonna go with an 80. With an 80.
It's still awfully high.
I think because without a doubt in my mind, I believe that God is real and He's there and everything like that. But then there's some people where there'll be 100 because they're the people that have had those miracles happen to them.
Oh.
The people, like, have you read the stories? I think it's 7 minutes in heaven or 9 minutes in hell.
I have not.
There are stories of people who they have died for that long time, and one person ended up going to heaven and writing a whole book of it, and the other person ended up being dead for 9 minutes and going to hell and writing a book of their whole experience also.
So if something profound like that happened to you, you'd zip up to the 100?
Oh, without a doubt. If I was able to die, see one way or the other, and come back to live and tell the story about it, it would, without a doubt, be 100%.
Sure. What would cause you to drop to the 5?
I mean, if I guess if something were to happen to drop me down to a 5, I wouldn't be here to tell you about it, I guess.
What does that mean?
Like, so what I believe, like, you're a Christian, you believe in God and everything like that. Like, when you die, you're gonna go to heaven. And no, I guess if I were something to happen for me to stop believing in God, I guess that'd be me dying and not going to heaven, like just nothing happening. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I'd be dead and just dead.
Is this your way of saying that there's nothing that would cause you to drop your confidence from the 80 unless it was some sort of devastating thing?
Because I think my faith and belief is pretty solid, and like there's nothing that can change it. And really, like,
you've mentioned twice now your faith in the belief.
Yeah, like my faith in God.
What's that all about? What do you mean by that? What is faith?
Like, I don't know, it's just like believing without question. Like, I was raised believing in God and reading the Bible and everything like that, and it's just like, no matter what happens, like, I'm gonna know that God is there. He's gonna have my back and help me through tough times. Like, whether the tough time, will either get harder or get better, like, something's gonna happen, and He's not just gonna leave me there to struggle and like be in a tough time. Like, something's gonna happen for a reason, whether it gets worse, but I'll learn something from it, or it'll just get better, and that'll be it. Like, without question, I know that God is real and He's there, and that's what I believe faith is believing without question.
That's a good working definition of it, I suppose. Do you believe in anything else without question besides the God?
No.
What does that say about the reliability of the method if you're only using it for one thing?
What do you mean?
Well, if belief without question was reliable on such a critical aspect of a component of your life, deciding to believe in a God, right? Like, if believing without question was a reliable way to know that something was true, to the 80% confidence, why aren't you using it here at school, or when you're studying, or going to work, or just in your everyday life?
Just thinking like I don't have to do anything. God's gonna get me through it. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're a student here. Did you say you have an exam? Are you going?
You're gonna take a math quiz.
Yeah. Why didn't you just believe without question that you were going to pass it?
Because that's not up to me. That's not up to God that I'm going to pass the quiz.
No doubt.
Did you do something to prepare for the quiz?
Yes.
What did you do?
I studied for the quiz. I practiced problems.
Could you have just used faith and just believed that you would pass it and not have to do any of that stuff?
No.
No?
No.
If you had just used faith and believed without question that you were going to pass the quiz
Okay.
and not study or do anything, how do you think that you would do on the quiz?
I would not do well at all. Unless it was by some miracle that I pass on the quiz, but either luck or a miracle. But without question, I'd probably fail if I didn't study or prepare myself.
What do you find so reliable about using faith to be 80% confident that the God exists, just believing without question? Yet you don't use it for other aspects of your life, like an important quiz, for example.
I understand.
Like, if faith was reliable, why aren't you using it for everything in your life?
I mean, I do use it in everything, like, but not in a way that I'm completely depending on it. Like, all right, I'm gonna go, invest in this company, or I'm gonna go jump off this bridge or go skydiving and just, think I'm gonna survive. Like it's not gonna catch me from 30,000 feet up, or guide my hand to select the right answer or anything like that.
Okay.
But it's not like in that way, but in a way of, kind of making smart decisions in what's good and bad, or, what's gonna happen, when I die, or like if I'm kind of like the person that you are is kind of based on my faith in God. Always be kind, helpful with people and everything like that. It's not just, I believe in God, so I'm not gonna study for this test. Or I believe in God, I'm not gonna wear a parachute when I jump out of this plane.
Okay, I think I understand. Are you saying that when you use faith to be confident that your God exists, that you see other positive benefits of it? Like you're a good person because of it? Was that what you were going at?
No, I'm just saying, like, so when I was raised, going to church every Sunday, so they know you're raised thinking like, to be kind, to be loving, to be compassionate, stuff like that. I feel like if I hadn't been raised going to church and hearing all these things, I wouldn't be as kind and compassionate and everything like that as I would be now.
Oh, I see.
Not that in the way of, because I believe in God, I'm kind and compassionate, but just kind of the way I was raised.
Okay. I'd like to kind of. Are you late for anything? Do you have like 2 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to pivot back to faith, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Because one thing that jumped out at me is that you're using it only to be so certain that the God exists.
Okay.
And if faith is a method to coming to a truth, to knowing that something's true, or likely true, because you're 80%.
Yeah.
I guess I'm still not sure why you wouldn't use it for other aspects of your life if it was so dang reliable.
Well, it's not that. It's like, I think, are you looking at it as faith in general is really reliable? Because my faith is in God. My faith isn't just like, it's just faith. It's my faith is in one thing.
Well, faith is believing without question.
Yes, I believe without question.
And when we started asking about miracles, you wouldn't believe more strongly if you heard about more miracles, and you wouldn't believe less strongly if miracles ceased.
Yeah.
And then when I said, well, what's keeping you at the 80? And you're like, well, I have faith in my belief, and we started talking about faith.
Yeah.
And then you defined it as believing without question.
Okay.
Do you think believing that the God exists without question, by using faith, Antoni, is the most reliable way to know that something is true?
Feel that for each individual person, it will for them, but for others it may not.
Before I came down these stairs, I was talking to a guy who he's culturally Muslim. He's 80% sure that Allah exists.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't get to faith, but it's not uncommon for somebody to say, or a Hindu, and a Muslim, it's quite likely, if we talk some more, you'd be like, I believe it on faith.
Yeah.
I believe it without question. But people are coming to all sorts of different God conclusions when they use faith, not the same one that you're coming to. And I think you were kind of hinting at that when you said, well, it's up to the individual.
Yeah. Different people are going to believe in different things. If you believe in something else, if you have faith in something else, there's really nothing I can do to really alter your faith in that one thing. Neither if it's somebody of a different religion or just like that.
Here's the thing that I'm struggling with, though.
Okay.
Like, if your God existed, shouldn't everybody be able to use faith to reliably get to that same God?
Let's see. I'm going to go with yes, but not saying that, because there are multiple religions and they do believe in multiple things. And so I'm going to say it's going to be kind of contradicting, but I'm going to answer your question with yes.
Okay.
But because I believe kind of all the religions are kind of pointing at the same God, they just have different views of it. It's like each religion has that one person that, they all believe in, that does all these, wonderful things that they all follow and stuff like that. It's just like Christianity believes in God and they're from like Jerusalem and stuff like that, and then Islam will be over in one area, Hindu, like they're all from different places. Yeah. And I feel like that's...
You're talking like geographically?
Geographically, yes.
Okay.
And so like it's just a geographical barrier, but all the religions are the same, they're just geographical barriers between them, and so they're all kind of different.
I see.
But I believe they all focus on one like almighty person.
So I'm going to use an extreme example here, but is it the fellow that's in Afghanistan right now, and he believes that if he detonates a bomb or something and takes out some rivals, and he's has 72 virgins waiting for him, and he's using faith, he's believing without question, he's ultimately going to get to the same God that you believe in and use faith to get to?
No, he's not going to get anywhere. Because the God...
But he would look at me and say, I'm using faith, Anthony, and I know that it's true.
Yeah.
Is faith reliable?
That's just from individual to individual. I'm not going to say no, because I have my faith, and like I don't think there's really there's some questions I can't answer, like I just don't have the answer to.
Sometimes saying I don't know is a good thing.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to some questions, but I mean I have my faith, and he has his faith. If he believes killing people will get him to a good place, well then I mean that's his faith. Like there's nothing that can really stop him to say no. So it's 100% reliable to him. Mine is 100% reliable to me. Yours might be 100% reliable to you. But I think if you were to bring like everybody together, no. But to each individual person, yes. Kind of understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
How could a method for arriving at a truth be reliable if the conclusion varies from person to person to person to person to person to person to person?
Yeah. I don't know.
Thank you for your time. It was really a pleasure. And I've got a card here with my email.
Sure.
And my name's Anthony. If you want to hit me up again, or if you see me out here and I'm not chatting with somebody, then let's talk some more.
Can I ask what your whole purpose is?
I think I hinted at it at the start. Like I will talk to random people about what they believe.
Yeah.
And I want to identify what's the reason why they believe these things.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
We could have gone ghost, karma, miracles, prayer, gods. We went God.
Yeah.
So we just started talking about that. And then I want to understand why you think it's true.
Okay.
And we went from miracles, and then rather quickly, I think, to faith.
Yeah.
And what I ultimately hope to get out of this, two things. Number one, if you're correct and you know something I don't know, I want to know about it. Seriously.
Yeah.
And number two, if you walk away thinking about the conversation and you're like, is the method that I'm using to be so certain that this is true, reliable,
Yeah.
and you spend a little time thinking about it,
Yeah.
then that would be fantastic.
I'll probably be thinking about this for a while.
Okay.
This was a really eye-opening conversation.
I could ask for nothing more.
If I catch you anywhere and you're not talking to somebody, I'll definitely have another chat with you.
I would greatly enjoy that.
All right. Have a good day.
See you, Anthony.